Hello survivors, welcome to another video. In this video we're taking a bit of an in-depth look into all the 5 stars that got added to the 5-star wheel. Just looking at basically all their stats, all their rushes and stuff, just to see what characters are on the wheel. There is a bug on the wheel. I think it will probably be fixed soon enough, where there's a 3-star on the wheel. I did actually see this character before the release of the wheel, but I just assumed that it couldn't be the 3-star. That would just make no sense. I assumed it was either written wrong on the forums, or there was a character with the same name, because the Rick that's an AoE heal called Days Gone By Rick, there is actually a Days Gone By Rick that isn't a 5-star as well, and I think it's a 3-star or a 4-star. So I just assumed it's the same sort of deal, that it was just a Michonne that wasn't on the Wikipedia. So I mean, it's just one of them things. Hopefully the people who pulled her by mistake, well, who didn't pull it by mistake, but who pulled her and mistakenly got the one that they put on the wheel, get compensated with more tokens, or maybe, I don't know, maybe a 5-star of your choice. I don't know how it would work. Probably tokens. Get your tokens, hopefully. Contact support. I did say on the forums, a couple of the devs and mods and stuff have said contact support if you had issues. But here's the rundown on the characters. Enjoy it. It is a very long video, but this is more like a if you've got nothing to do at work but want to know what's going on sort of thing. What we're going to do is we're going to go through the new characters. I'll skip over any current characters that were already in the wheel. So we'll go for the first character. That's Double SMG Rosita. This is basically like the ranged version of Davy, where it's a triple hit attack, which does a massive attack debuff. This is actually pretty strong. Also has neutralize. Pretty nice 5-star character. And we'll go on. Obviously Tyrese has been here before, so we won't look at him. We'll have a quick look at Governor, but I think a lot of people know what he is like. He is the 8% weapon character. If he had command, he'd be supreme. He has a long impair, single hit, high damage attack, 45 AR. He's okay. He's been given away in a couple of events. I think I got him in slash tokens on one of my regions. He's okay. He's not super amazing. So far, obviously, Rosita is the best out of the ones we've seen. Michonne is fresh on the wheel. I kind of like Michonne. She's really useful for SR. If you understand how she works, basically after you use her rush, she gets 80% of her AR back, and that basically means that she has to do one attack and then she can rush again. So if you have a command in your team, she can rush, and then the next turn she can attack rush again. And on SR, that's just so useful, because a lot of the time on early stages you're just saving your AR. Whereas Michonne, you don't really have to worry too much. You just can spam your AR out as often as you want. So if you get her, you can be happy enough that she'll be actually pretty decent on SR. I have used her Gatherer skill in War, and it's okay. It's not too bad. It's okay. It gets you a couple of 100 tokens of War if you like put some effort in. Karl has remained on the wheel. He did initially get taken off. Maggie's still on the wheel as well. Yumiko, this is a fresh character. This is Morgan. I think he was one of the prizes in one of the recent tournaments. He drops a crate that has gear in it. Nothing spectacular from the looks of things. If one of these characters was a Lilith, I think people were a bit more, I don't know, hyped about this. The gear, I mean, it's nice. It's a bonus. It does look like it's only world map. So I mean, if you've got this guy and you've got Glenn, and you want to go farming on low energy stages, you're going to potentially get some small bonuses. 56 AR, one target damage. Oh, 3 enemies. Sorry, 375% damage to 3 enemies and impair. So, I mean, he's okay. 65% boost to attack as well. I mean, I think the Gatherer skill is what most people would want him for. I think Barker's new to the wheel, but everyone knows what Barker's like. He does have a 6-star version, which is okay. Not spectacular, but it's pretty nice. It can work in some situations. Shiva's remained on the wheel as well. She was initially taken off. Everyone knows about Shiva. Alert Shane's still on the wheel. Fast Victor, Fast Ellen as well. Lee's remained on the wheel. I believe Michonne as well. We've got a few characters that have stayed. We've got quite a few new characters as well, though. And Michonne, unfortunately, didn't take off Ezekiel. I think everyone would have been happy with this guy going. Jesus has stayed. Alicia has stayed. Sandy as well. I think Timothy's new to the wheel. I don't think he was on the 5-star wheel before, but he might have been. But he's basically Alert Command. I think a lot of people know about him. Bruce is the same as well. I think Cooper's new. Cooper 44 AP, 375% damage to a line of enemies, and it also impairs them. It's pretty fast. It's pretty nice. Line impair. Rick, I think he might be new to the wheel. I'm not 100% certain. He's definitely been on the elite wheel, elite token wheel before. But I've got him. He's okay. He's reasonable for SR. Obviously, he's not like a raid tune, but you never know. Some of these characters will become pretty good 6 stars. I think Lester's been on the wheel before. Same with Herschel. Same with the next Abraham. I want to see some of these new characters. I want to see some of the new ones. Shield Michonne, Randall as well was on the wheel before. Double Axe Tyrese. Command Morgan. I like Command Morgan a lot. Guardian Zeke. Guardian Darlene. Kane as well. Next up. Now this is a new character. This is a new one. David. Okay, so this is one of the characters from the Telltale, one of the Telltale events previously. He has evasion, 66 AP, not very fast, but deals 300% damage and stun to for 2 turns to a line of enemies. So on attack, that isn't too bad. You're going to stun 2 people every 3 turns, and if you command, you could lock two characters. So well, at least lock them for 4 turns. So that's not too bad. But I don't think it's going to be mega useful on raids. Next up, I'm not sure who this is. Kate. Okay, Kate is 56 AP. All teammates get 50% attack, focus, okay, and regain 30% of their max HP for 2 turns. So she's okay. Focus is pretty nice. Tenacity is... It can be useful on SR. If you come up against Reflect walkers early on, and you attack with someone who has Tenacity, they can't be one-shot by the Reflect. That's something that I've learned quite well. I use my Alert Clementine for that. So not too bad. Not spectacular, but not too bad. Trip has been added to a wheel, but I think majority of people got this character. He was underrated at the time. All range teammates get 45% defense. He's actually pretty decent, and he's got a pretty decent heal as well. If you come up against walker stages where they have stun on defense, you can use Trip to just refresh your entire team and remove all stun, which is really useful. I think this Kenny's new to the wheel. It's a 2-turn confuse and 500% damage. His leader skill is pretty nice, especially on SR. If you know you're coming up against just melee characters, you know you can put this guy out as a leader and you're going to do supreme amounts of damage, 45% extra. He is kind of hit or miss on raids. You have to kind of... Like, I wouldn't use him on the defense team. I'm on the attack team. I mean, if you come up against a Karl team and you've got some decent 6-star, like say you've got a couple of Shivas. Now this guy would buff those Shivas so much against Karl teams. Like nearly 50% more attack for Shivas. 6 stars? Jeez. Okay, Javier I like a lot. I'm going to get told off probably saying his name wrong. I do apologise. 700% damage. Also, one teammate gets elusive, which is pretty nice. Especially if it goes on a shield on a raid. It's pretty useful. His leader skill is not too bad. It's the same as OG Michonne. The next card is one of my favourite ones. Even though it's not like a great character, I really like Clementine. Just from the game, the Telltale games. The card is okay, or the character's okay. All teammates get 30% attack and 30% defense against ranged characters. Not a great leader skill. Deal 300% damage and remove any positive attack statuses from one enemy, and all enemies adjacent to all teammates get 70% defense for 1 turn. So it's not huge, it's not amazing, but I don't know. I just kind of like the card. This Heath is actually pretty useful. I used him for quite a long time. 85% attack and defense is like insane. He also has command, so on attack, like you're gonna buff your teammates really high. And if, like I say, if you've got someone like a Shiva, or if you can command Shiva and you can buff her in terms of getting her damage mega high. I think this is Laura, yeah, Laura, and she's new to the wheel. 45 AP, very fast, deal 450% damage to one enemy. All teammates recover from stun and impair. I think this is, again, it'll be fairly useful for SR because you're going to have to refresh stun on some stages, and especially on stages against alert stun on defense characters, you're going to be taking like your tough teams to crit them down. So not too bad a character for that. Next up, I think this was from the Winter Collection. I actually pulled this character. She is pretty useful. Her leader skill's nice. All melee characters get 45% HP. So I can have a lot of 5 stars at over 2k HP. Useful for SR, if nothing else. The The heal's pretty decent. Also recovers some AP for all your characters, so not too shabby. Revive Joshua. I think he's from Ascendance. He's okay. I got him recently, but it's quite a slow rush. But it is a revive and a big stun for 3 turns. Next up, I don't know this character. Got Alert Karl. 56 AP, deal 500% damage to one enemy, up to 3 teammates, regain up to 40% of their max HP, and it has execution. I've not seen this one before. Looks pretty cool. Like, I don't know, Pistolero. Looks pretty decent. And we've got the Earl Sutton. He's got the horrible rush. I don't know. I really hate rushes with downsides, even though it gives him pretty big upside. But behind a shield on attack, I guess he could do just pretty decent damage, plus 250% damage, which would bring his damage up to close to 2,000. So he'd be basically like having a 6-star for how many turns? 3 turns, but it's a 66 AP rush. You'd have to be behind a shield. That shield would have to survive, because the second this guy gets hit with minus 50% defense, he's going to get melted, especially as he's a 5-star. He hasn't got much defense in the first place. 400 defense is not going to do much. Skylar is new. She's not really that great a character, but she's okay. Again, for SR or something like that. I have had this Dwayne for a while. He's pretty useful. Massive damage debuff. Again, for SR, if you come up against the Tyrese teams and you just smash one of them when you think their rush is up, or when you know their rush is going to be coming, they don't do much damage at all. Minus 70% attack is awesome. The 525%, I don't know, that seems misleading. He never seems to do that great amount of damage. I don't know what it is. Now, Rick, Days Gone By, I like this character a lot. AoE attack, so it's like hit 1 and adjacent characters will be attacked 2. But then all teammates immediately gain 30% of their max HP and then regain 30% of their max HP at the beginning of their next turn. I've used this character quite a lot on defense, and he's really useful. 56 AR. He has to have a huge lead and huge weapon to go off every other turn, but if you have that, it can be very hard to deal with. Mega heals. Glenn, I actually like this character a lot. I'm not sure what that was. Does that mean a limited edition up there? Road to Survival Edition 2? I'm not sure what that little icon means. But deal 275% damage to up to 3 enemies and revive 1 teammate with 20% of their HP. I'd say this is probably one of the strongest revives. Well, just because it's so fast. It's very hard to deal with when you've got a revive who is a focus. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Karl teams, especially now this Glenn's going to be a bit more prevalent because people are going to be able to pull him, but Karl teams with this Glenn, because with 40% extra defense, 40% extra HP, he's going to be pretty hard to take down, and he's got quite a fast rush, so he'll get a turn 3 rush, or will he still get a turn 2? I guess he could still get a turn 2 if he had a weapon. So I don't think he'd need a... No, it'll be turn 3. It'll be turn 3. My bad. So yeah, he'd have to have very fast leads to get turn 2. Next up, we have Rosa, which is the large drop leads. I'm probably going to get this character on the region where I just got Rosa. It'll be pretty unbelievable. But she's pretty good even if you get her. She hasn't got a great leader skill in terms of buffing your characters with crit. So it can be harder to take down Walker stages, but once her rush goes off, basically you've got 45 crit constantly, because that rush will constantly go off, and large bonus to item drop lead is pretty nice. Next up we have Lopez, again another character that I think is in Ascendance. All alert teammates get 36 crit, which is pretty nice. Adrenaline rushes, all teammates regain 50% of their max HP, up to 3 teammates get 65% for 2 turns. So nothing spectacular with the rush, but the leader skill isn't too shabby. It kind of is like, I can't remember her name, Kelly, I think 4-star Kelly, but just a like 5-star version basically. Next up we have Heath. I'm not sure about this Heath. Collateral damage, so pretty useless specialist skill. No leader skill. And the Adrenaline Rush is still 250% damage to up to 3 enemies, up to 3 teammates get regained 30% of their HP. So not too good a character. Kind of looks okay, but not a great character if I'm honest. Now, have you seen a lot of people use this Lori? So she must be fairly useful. Deal 350% damage and 50% minus 50% defense for 3 turns to up to 3 enemies. So kind of like if you know fast is it Fast Eugene, who has the reflexes skill. It is a bit slower, 58 AP, but the debuff is going to be just as useful on attack. It'll be the same sort of speed. Not too bad an attacking character, and obviously when you come up against 6 stars, you're going to have to bring down their defense. So if you are still stuck on 5 stars, this could be a decent character if you've got a ranged team. Lifesteal is okay. It's not spectacular. I mean, it'll give you that little heal every now and again. It can be nice on Walker stages when you've taken a crit weapon just to get her health back up if she's been taking hits on previous stages, but on SR that is. Next up we have Yellow Clem, who has the 30% defense and HP buff, which is just like a mini Karl, I guess. So if you don't get Karl, this is like the smaller version of Karl. Adrenaline Rush is really slow. It says slow, it is slow. Deal 350% damage to one enemy and all adjacent enemies. All teammates get 20% crit, 20 crit. I do not know why this is so slow. It's not really a special rush. It's not like 350% damage to one enemy and all enemies adjacent, and they all get impaired for 2 turns. You know, that might be 160 AP. I'm not really sure why that's so slow. I mean, if that was 76, I'd still say it's bad, but 106, I don't know. That seems a bit too high for me. We also have another character here from Ascendance, which is Green Kenny. We all know what Green Kenny is, just an adjacent attacker. He's not spectacular. I think this is a new guy to the wheel as well. There's a lot of characters. This is going to be a long video. We have 76 AP, deal 425% damage to a line of enemies. Lifesteal again, fairly useful for SR, but not much else. His rush isn't too special. So I would say he's not a great character. I've seen this Abraham quite a lot, but I don't know really how good he is. 425% damage to a line of enemies. All teammates get 40% attack for 1 turn. So yeah, he's not spectacular. The hope is some of these characters are going to be decent 6 stars, because I guess Carlson is in the wheel as well. Another one that is not too great. Deal 400% damage and minus 20 AP to a line of enemies. Tenacity as well. I mean, like I said before, SR can be quite useful, but Carlson would be a fairly dud character. So with this Rosita, there's a lot of potential bad characters in this world, unfortunately. Rosita is available from Ascendance. I wish they wouldn't have put characters that are available from Ascendance in this wheel, actually. If I'm honest. If you can get it from 4-star to 5-star Ascendance, don't put in this wheel. That's my opinion. Even Lee. You should probably take Lee out of this wheel, because you can get it from Ascendance. That's the route you should take to try and get him. Next up we have Walkins, who I got a prize of him once. He's okay. He's not going to be anything special for defense teams. Attack teams, I guess you could use him. He's a bit slow. He's okay for SR. Lifesteal again, like I said before. And I think this is Drop Lead Herschel, and I haven't seen this guy being available for, like, anywhere. So it is pretty nice to be able to get a hold of him, because I think he is needed for collections. Now that's fine. Even if they're bad characters, I don't mind characters being in here that are needed for collections. Deal 300% damage and 45% attack for 4 turns to a line of enemies. 76 AP, not a special rush, but he does get a medium drop chance, and all top teammates get 30% HP. So it could be okay for a drop lead while you're, I don't know, between tournaments and trying to actually defend against some lower people on your regions. The Governor, I think this is a pretty poor character again. 106 AP. It may as well be 160, because this radiator will go off. Deal 200% and cause 120 damage bleeding for 4 turns to a group of enemies. I don't think he has to target anybody. That's only bonus. So he just kills everybody. He like hits everybody. But it's so slow, and it's such low damage, and even the bleed's low. I think this is like worse than Clementine's bleed. Alert Clementine, and worse than her, maybe even worse than her percentage damage, but like 50 more AP. So I mean, it doesn't really make much sense. Has tenacity, but yeah. Another Ascendance character is in the wheel. I'm not a fan of that, again, like I said, but Earl is okay-ish. He's a pretty mega buffer. He kind of looks bad, but he is actually fairly useful if you're, especially if you're new. He can be really useful for world map, get you through those human stages, and even through some walker stages. Gregory, deal 225% damage to up to 4 enemies. I haven't really seen this character too much, so I can't really say, but it's pretty slow rush. Tenacity is okay-ish, I guess, like I said before, if you use it right. Vernon, I think this is just a big Big buff, yeah, big buff. 80% defense for 2 turns and recover from all attack penalties. I mean, that's okay. That just basically wipes your team clean, which is pretty decent. All alert teammates get 45% HP, so it could be useful on some stages if you're coming up against high level SR. Strong stages, you might want to take someone who just gives you masses of HP, but it's up to you. Not sure who this character is. Lily, it's another Telltale character. 45 AP. All teammates get 65% attack and 35%, 35 crit for 3 turns. There aren't actually that many. I think she's available in Ascendance though. There aren't that many crit buff tough characters. So if you get this character, you may think, oh, I just got a really bad character. It's actually, I think she's like one of only like 2 or 3 crit buff tough characters. Tough characters don't have many crit buffs. All teammates get 30% attack against alert characters. All teammates get a medium bonus to AP when they're taking damage. So leader skill's not anything to really be too happy about. Now my brother's going to be pretty happy about this, and that is me being sarcastic, because this guy, he's got 3 of them, and he's a nice medium drop lead. He's nice, but you don't want more than 1 really. His rush is okay. 75 AP, minus 50% attack for 4 turns to a line of enemies. A bit of damage in there as well, but he's not spectacular. You mainly want him for his all fast teammates get 24 crit, and you get a medium bonus time drop chance. Now the thing about this character that's weird is whenever I do SR, for some reason, when it comes to me doing stages where I can use my a lot of fast characters to do crit stages, I can't use this guy. Like, it blocks out leaders for some reason. So I can't even, like, the persona of leader. So I can't even use him half the time. It's really annoying. Krista, I actually really like this character, even though she's got the slowest rush ever. I don't know why I like this character. I think it's just I have something in my head that says AoE stun is just amazing. But it's only 1 turn. Again, it's only 1 turn. And it's really low damage. I really don't know why it's such high AP. If this was 76 or 85, it would still be too high. Like, it would still be, like, not worth it. You know? But, well, wait, what can you do? Tenacity in there again. We got Omid or however you want to pronounce it. I have got this character again, fairly useful for SR. He does a lot of damage to 3 enemies. If you take someone who does damage buffs, who do I normally take? I can't really think. But also he does give 24 crit leads. So if you haven't got a crit lead for tough, so if you haven't got Kenny, for instance, he is pretty useful. But he's not spectacular by any means. Oberson, another Telltale event character. All teammates regain 60% of their max HP and get 30% attack for 3 turns. Parting shot, if this character is killed by an enemy attack, they will immediately perform a guaranteed critical attack against enemies. So parting shot is, I mean, I have seen it happen like once where I think parting shot has got a victory in a raid against me, or me against them, I can't remember. But it's okay. You can get some pretty hefty damage. I guess a parting shot on a 6-star would be pretty horrible, but not on a 5-star so much. But yeah, he's not that great. Ben, I think, was considered one of the best rainbow leads for a long time. All teammates get 30% defense against ranged characters, so lopsided on the defense, but ranged characters. So you can basically take, you could probably take some reds, and you could probably take some greens around him on a defense team, and they'd have a bit better defense against trait damage. All teammates get a medium bonus to AP when attacking, and that's why a lot of people like him, because you can still get 2nd turn rush on 45 AP. His rush is pretty decent. He deals 250% damage to 1 enemy and all adjacent. All teammates get 20 crit. It's mainly just the damage. The crit's a bonus, but here we go. Mark, I think this is another character that has been there before. 45 AP heal. All teammates regain 40% of their max HP and get 40% defense for 4 turns. And his leader skill is all teammates get 45% attack against alert characters. So, I mean, I guess you'd already take, yeah, that's a lot of trait damage and bonus damage on top. And looking at this next character is Rocky, 45 AP, deal 400% damage to 1 enemy. All teammates get 30% defense for 2 turns. Leader skill, all alert teammates get 30% HP and a very large bonus to AP when taking damage. I think Rocky's been in a wheel before. He might be in Ascendance, I'm not 100% certain. This guy is in Ascendance for sure, because I've grabbed him. He's just a little bit of a buff bot. He doesn't really do any damage or anything. And his leader skill is just all alert teammates get 45% attack. Next up we have Michonne, made to suffer. I'm not sure. I don't think I've seen this character before. Why is there a 3-star in the 5-star wheel? What? What is going on? What's going on? Okay, I was like, I've not seen this 5-star before. Yeah, damn right I haven't. Okay, well, I don't even know what's going on. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. I don't even know what to say. That was just really weird. Negan, we've seen him before. Now we have Shiva Force, Jesus. I've been done by just seeing that. Hold the Line is a pretty good specialist skill. Adrenaline Rush recharge rate is 450% damage to up to 3 enemies. This character regains up to 25% of their max HP. He's okay. He's a recent promoted premier, so it's nice to have someone who's like pretty good on the wheel. Now this probably is the best character on the wheel. This Red Rick, probably the best character on the wheel. He has Indomitable, which is probably one of the better specialists. Top 3, top 5 easily, without a doubt. Neutralize, Indomitable, Shield. You know, these are all in the same sort of category of just elite level specialist skills. The recharge rate is 45 AP. Deal 325% damage and taunt for 2 turns to up to 2 enemies, and then pain split with 1 teammate for 2 turns. Now, how pain split works, I'm not 100% sure, but it's like, I think it's the teammate that you pain split with, you take half the damage that they take, and they take half the damage you take. So it's like really hard to take people down, especially if it's on a 6-star. 5 stars not so much, but I think Wyatt, the 6-star, has it, and it's pretty horrible. Next up we have Michonne, who is also Shiva Force. She has Waste Not, so after she rushes someone, if she's killed someone, any leftover damage, like if she does 1,000 damage with her rush and someone only has 500 HP, she'll do 500 HP damage to somebody else. Now she gets 80% attack for 3 turns on her second turn on the defense team if she is with the right lead and right weapon. So her damage will just be massively boosted for her second rush. So that Waste Not will come into very good use. And I think we're coming around to the start of the wheel again. This is the last character. It is Pam, and it's 56 AP, deal 450% damage, and remove any positive attack and defense statuses from a line of enemies. You get a medium bonus to item drop chance, so that's nice. And then all teammates get a medium XP bonus from roadmaps. That is not so nice, but I guess it's, you know, it's there, so you take advantage of it if you want to, or you just don't have her as leader if you don't want to. So that's the end of that video. It was a long one. But there are a lot of new characters that have been added to the wheel. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Keep on surviving. Keep on surviving.